Hello out there to all of my fellow gold diggers. This is your girl Rita, also known as the self-proclaimed gold digger. Welcome to my channel where I discuss my life as a wife, mom, entrepreneur, and business owner, all while trying to crush and achieve my goals. And on tonight, I am doing my confessions of a business owner or confessions of a gold digger. I have been going live nightly, except for yesterday. Thank y'all so much for allowing me to take a mini break on yesterday because your girl had a long week, as well as a long day. But pretty much what the series has been about is that I have been sharing with you the mistakes I made in business, the lessons I've learned in business, and I have been sharing that with you in hopes that you don't make the same mistakes. As a recap, we talked about the mindset that you need to have when it comes to having your own business or going into entrepreneurship. I shared with you my first business failure and gave you some tips and some lessons that I learned from doing that. We also talked about marketing and the importance of marketing. We also discussed the concept of rejection when it comes to business and getting used to hearing no when it comes to business as well. And lastly, on Thursday evening, we talked about the importance of having great customer service and how to go about doing that, even though it might seem like it's common sense. And tonight we will be discussing about imposter syndrome, okay? Now, before we get into the video, I am going to ask if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Also, be sure to like the video so that it can get out to more people and help my channel. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you have been enjoying my content and you have been finding it helpful, then please be sure to subscribe to my channel. And I want to say a special thank you to all of my fellow gold diggers out there who have helped me to get to 600 subscribers this week. So y'all are so awesome. Y'all know I love y'all. So thank y'all so much. And I am welcoming all the new gold diggers that are out there as well. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get into the video. So, if you have not heard of imposter syndrome before, pretty much what it is either you're doing something, tackling something, taking on something, and as you're doing it, you feel like, hey, fake, a fraud. Like, hey, I don't believe I am capable of doing this. You feel like it says, like an imposter. Like, hey, someone else more qualified should be doing this instead of me. So that is what imposter syndrome is like. That's a brief definition, my definition of it. Now, imposter syndrome in business can definitely rear its ugly head because oftentimes in business, I know at least for myself, I was taking on new challenges, new assignments that I had never even seen before, that I had never even experienced before. And there were points during my entrepreneurship journey, during my business ownership journey, where I did experience imposter syndrome. Okay. It literally went from, oh, snap, I got a business. My business is up and running to like, oh, snap. I got a business and I got to keep it up and running. Like literally, it went from like excitement to like the reality of it hits you like, oh my God, I literally have a business that has to be sustainable. And how am I even going to do this? Okay. Now, when I was setting up my business, I did experience some imposter syndrome because literally, from the moment you walk into, if you were to walk into my office, all the policies, all the procedures, how it's laid out, even the design of the office, it's pretty much was my concept. Like I had to create all of that stuff. And in creating it, I feel like I'm a pretty, I won't say a pretty creative person. Like I like to create stuff, but I feel like I'm a creative person. But at the same time, like the task of creating that stuff, or as I was creating it, I enjoyed doing it. But then when it was time for it to like for us to execute it, it was like, oh my gosh, I created all of this stuff. What is going to happen if this doesn't work? What is going to happen if the people don't like it this way or people don't like it that way or whatever? It was like I have created all of this stuff, and if it doesn't work, it is all on me. So I had to wrestle with that when it came to just even setting up my business. And then once I had my business and I had people working in the business, yes, it was exciting, hiring new people, your business is about to take off. But then as my business opened up, it didn't, I wasn't seeing the amount of people that I anticipated seeing. So now it was like, oh my gosh, I am responsible for these people's livelihoods. Like, I am their boss, I am their employer, and I have to make sure they can feed their families by the income my business is supposed to be generating. And right now, we're not generating any income. Like, it was a lot. It can be a lot to take in. And I'm like, who am I? Who am I to be able to sustain their families and stuff like that? I'm like, I'm still trying to sustain myself. Like it was just a lot going on, a lot to process, a lot of heaviness that I had that was weighing on me, like just the amount of responsibility that you have as a business owner or even as an entrepreneur. If you think about it too long, it can be overwhelming. It really and truly can be overwhelming. Like, not only am I responsible, I'm responsible for these people's livelihoods, but I'm also responsible for making sure this business is successful. I'm also responsible for my patients that I'm taking care of, making sure that they see. And I'm like, I am just one person, and it's easy to let imposter syndrome seep in and hearing thoughts saying, who are you? Who are you who thinks that you can do all of this stuff? Who are you who thinks that you can even run a business? So those were some of the issues I faced with imposter syndrome. And yes, sometimes it can be hard, especially when you see that your business isn't being as successful as you anticipated it to be. Also, when you see that you're having issues with the staff that you thought was going to work out really, really well, and now you're having to address that and deal with that and that kind of stuff. And it's like, hey, this was my first time doing it. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I didn't put some certain things in place. Maybe I'm not even supposed to be doing this. And I will say, as a female, also as an African American female, oftentimes too, I know for me, the pressure is on. Like, the pressure is on for expectations that not only that society might have, or the preconceived expectations that you feel society might have, but also expectations that you might put on yourself. I know for minorities, I'm not gonna speak for minorities in general, but I will say I'll just speak for myself in general. Like, I was the first one in my family to become a doctor. I was the first one in my family who had this practice and stuff like that. Like, my first business was didn't work out or whatever. Now I have this other business. There was a lot of pressure that I put on myself, or that I felt was on me with me having my own business. And then later on, I found out, like, hey, I am the only African American male or female optometrist with their own practice in the city of Augusta, which I say at that time it was like the third largest city in the state of Georgia. So all of that pressure, like, I'm like, I can't mess up. Like, not my reputation is on the line, but also I'm representing for, my people, my culture, and all this kind of stuff. So it's like I had so many expectations on myself. And I'm like, who am I? Who am I to be carrying all of this weight? Who am I to be able to do all of this stuff? And that is where imposter syndrome can set in and take place. And you really have to get out of your own head and realize that you are capable of achieving the things that you have set out for yourself. You are capable of reaching these goals. You deserve to be here just like anybody else. So I really had to take that in and process that as well. Now, also too, and when it came to imposter syndrome, um, I experienced that when I had my first paying um patient or whatever. And when I say like first paying patient, I mean like they were paying a good amount of money for my services because I do a specialty service at my office. And when they did that, I was like, am I going to be able to deliver the results that they are expecting? I had done it before at a couple of different offices. I knew what to do, but now I was doing it on my own, and I was like, the pressure is on. Like I felt like I had no one else to turn to, no one else that I could ask questions about, even though I do have other colleagues that, I could have turned to. But in that moment, at that time, it was like, oh my gosh, this is all on me. I have to deliver. And like I was saying earlier, it went from, oh snap, somebody just paid me a few $1,000s to do this service, to, oh snap, I gotta make sure I deliver on these services. It was like within that time, within that quick of a time frame, it's like you're excited because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm actually making money in my business, to, oh my gosh, these people have trusted me with this money to provide them with services for my business. So it's like you're excited in one moment, and in the other moment, you feel the seriousness or the gravity of the situation and everything, and of what is expected of you, and it can definitely weigh heavily on you sometimes, and you feel like an imposter. And I had to get over that quickly, very, very quickly. And when I say quickly, like it would still pop up from time to time, but it's like you have to keep telling yourself, like, hey, you are capable. You know your stuff. You got it together. You know what to do. You can deliver. You're gonna blow the socks off of these people, and they are going to be impressed by you and everything. Let's see. I'm so sorry. Hey y'all, I got a little carried away talking. Hey April. Hey Dedic 30. Yes, yes, it can be a lot. It's like you're so excited when you start making money in business, and then it's like, oh shoot. They like, I gotta definitely make sure I deliver when it comes to all of this that they are expecting of me, especially with me handling such a large amount of money that they were expecting me to deal with or whatever. And after being in business for so long, or for the period of time that I'm in, that's why I say I have shared with y'all before. I don't know if it was on the live because I've been doing a lot of talking lately. Like, I don't get caught up in the titles, I don't get caught up in the degrees. That's why I don't really care about achieving any other letters after my name, before my name, any other degrees, certificates, or anything like that. Because guess what, I'm tired of having to prove myself to people. I'm tired of having to get certain certifications to show that I'm capable. Like, I'm not trying to do that anymore. And also, I have learned that that doesn't define me. Like, even in one of the specialty that I do in my office, I could actually get another certification, but I'm at the point, like, is it going to bring me, is this certification going to bring me more money, or is it just for me to have, some extra letters behind my name so people could find more credibility in me? Like, if they don't believe me for who I am, I don't want any more letters, degrees, whatever in front of my name, unless it's going to translate to more money or it's going to translate to more peace. If it doesn't translate to that, I really don't want it because it doesn't really matter to me. So yeah, so that is just my thinking. That is just my philosophy. That is why I'm not concerned about any more degrees or certifications, and I'm not against education at all. But I feel that sometimes we are so worthy of so many things in our lives, and we just don't feel like that. Or we feel, oh, I need to go back to school, or oh, I need to get this degree, or I need to get this certification. When it's like, sis, you are capable just as you are. You are enough just as you are. You already have the skills just as you are. Now, of course, if you don't have the skills and you need to go get some and that certification will help, then fine. But if you already know, I have the certification, I have the skills, I know what I'm doing, a piece of paper is not necessarily going to flip the switch or whatever when it comes to that. And also, with me being a person of color or whatever, like I said, I am so tired and so exhausted of having to prove myself in certain rooms and in certain situations, or saying, or so many people are surprised, oh, you're the doctor? Yes, I am the doctor or whatever. I am so tired of proving myself. I'm not trying to prove myself to anybody, including myself. Like, girl, get it together. You are capable. Don't let anybody dissuade you, discourage you, or anything like that. But that is what imposter syndrome can do. It can have you feeling like you're inadequate, like you're not supposed to be there. You're not supposed to be in these certain rooms. And people, or people may be wondering, well, how are you able to do that, or how are you doing that, or whatever. I see some of the skepticism on people's faces, or the surprise on people's faces and stuff like that, but I have learned not to let it deter me or have me feel less than or inadequate. I have realized I am enough. I am more than enough. And it's just, you just have to keep reminding yourself of that, because it's going to come up from time to time. It's going to pop up from time to time. But just knowing who you are and staying true to yourself pretty much is what it's all about. If y'all have any questions, please put them in the chat. I'm going to put April's comment up on the screen because I forgot all about this technology I have. And I'm so glad that y'all can relate to that when it comes to business, because oftentimes, I know for me, with me being one of the first people in my family to do this kind of thing, and not having, and even like in my city or whatever, like I said, at the time, I was the only African American doctor with their own private practice or whatever. So I didn't necessarily have people I could relate to in the area, or even somebody to kind of look at as an example or anything like that. It was like, I'm out here on my own trying to navigate it. I can look at other people in other states and other cities and see how they were doing it, but it's like I didn't have anybody in my hometown, or in the town where I was, to lead or guide me or whatever. So I really and truly felt the pressure. And even now, I do operate, will say, I do operate at a very high level of excellence. Like, I set that bar for myself in general, and that's just how I am. It could be stuff from childhood or whatever. So I like to like over deliver. So I know I have high expectations of myself in general. So I feel that when I do my work and I do provide good quality service and stuff, that I am already performing at my highest caliber. And as long as I have given it my best, then that is all that I can ask of myself. But I do remind my staff, like, hey, my reputation is on the line. I'm like, at the end of the day, they're not going to remember your name. They're not going to remember who the little person at the front desk was, or who the person was who was helping their glasses. All they're going to remember is, at Dr. Brown's office, so and so and so and so happened, or Dr. Brown's office is blah, 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 blah. So it's like, my name is tainted, my name is on the line. So I'm like, everybody needs to operate in excellence. But I've also realized too that I get my strength from God. Nothing I do is without Him. He is the one who is leading and guiding and directing me, and He is also the one who is sustaining me, because without Him, I would be nothing. Because there have been times where I should have lost my mind a long, long time ago, but thanks to Him, we have been sustaining and we have been maintaining, and that is who I draw my strength from. And yeah, as long as the things I'm doing are pleasing to Him, I don't really care if it pleases man, really, really and truly. So as long as me and God good, everybody else can take it up with Jesus. Is all I gotta say. Does anyone have any questions? Because that was pretty much what I wanted to share about imposter syndrome. I hope it encourages you if you are starting your own business or venturing into entrepreneurship. Just be confident in who you are. Um, experiencing imposter syndrome is not atypical or abnormal. There's nothing wrong with you. Just don't let it get you down for too long. Just know who you are and be confident in your own abilities, so that you can achieve everything that you set your mind to. You can do it. You can do it. I'm a testament of it. In business, this business can be rough. Business is rough. Entrepreneurship is rough. They don't tell you all this stuff. They just glamorize some of the stuff on IG and social media and stuff like that, but it really can be hard and difficult to deal with. And if anyone ever needs any encouragement, please feel free to reach out to me, because like I said, I share this stuff because I really and truly don't want anyone to go through what I went through, or even to think that you are going through it alone. Okay. All right. That is all I have. Thank y'all so much for joining. I will be going live earlier tomorrow, tomorrow Sunday at 7:30 p.m. That is where I will be answering your mystery shopping questions. So please be sure to check it out. And Monday will be the last day that I do the Confessions of a Gold Digger, Confessions of a Business Owner series for the month of January. And yeah, I'll share some final thoughts, final tips regarding that. So let's see. I'm sorry, April. Let's see. What did she say? She says, I really don't feel like anyone talks about this. So I honestly thought I was alone in this feeling. Yes, it's thank you so much for sharing, April, because I know yeah, you do feel alone. And part of it too is what I had to realize is that my friends and my family, they didn't have businesses, so they really didn't know what I was experiencing. So I wouldn't say they didn't know how to relate, but I don't think they knew what I was going through or how hard it was, because people think that when you open up a business, it's, I won't say they think it's easy, but they think that all they see is what's like on social media. So they see the high parts and they see like the big celebration when you open up, and your products you have and all that kind of stuff, and they think that you're making money and you're doing well or whatever, when in reality that is not the case. And I will say, even for me, there were days where I had staff coming in and stuff like that, and there were days where I just wanted to like go somewhere and go in a corner, go in a room and cry. And I couldn't do that because I was the leader. Like I was like, I don't even have time to cry. Like I don't have time to cry today. Like I don't even have time to cry today. Like I need to get it together. I got these people looking up to me. They're looking to me for instruction on what to do or whatever. And it's like, and you really can sometimes feel like you're alone. But I think it's just because they haven't, I don't think it's not because they don't care or they don't want to be able to help. They might just not know how to help or in what ways to help, to make it a little bit easier for you, just because they haven't necessarily experienced it themselves. Um, and like I said, a lot of people just glamorize the aspect of business. And part of it too is like, the saying, you got to fake it till you make it, because nobody wants to go to a business that's not doing good. So part of it is like, you have to put on this brave face and this like victorious face that, oh yeah, we're doing so well, to try and help attract people to you, because nobody wants to hear, yeah, my sales are down, business sucks. Like nobody wants to hear that. Nobody is really going to be trying to support you with that. So it's like you're almost like being a fake to yourself, and with the imposter syndrome, because you gotta like literally fake it till you make it, and put on this smile and be happy and be outgoing for the sake of the business. And that is what kind of makes it really hard. And April, even if you don't have a business, even with other things, I know like in school, even without me going into optometry school and stuff like that, people would ask like, how's it going? That kind of thing. It was like you kind of felt, I know for me, I kind of felt bad if I said that something wasn't going right, because I know so many people didn't have the opportunity I had to even go to college, go to optometry school. It's like it's almost like you should be grateful that you have this opportunity. But it's like, man, this stuff is hard. Like, it's not that many people that look like me at the school that I can even relate to. Like, it is hard. It's challenging. Some of the things I face, and that can occur too in the workplace or whatever. And it's like you don't want to complain, but at the same time, it's like it's stuff going on, and so it does make it really difficult for you to talk about it or discuss it, because you don't want to seem like you're ungrateful or anything either. When it comes to certain stuff, whether it's work, school, business, whatever, it's like you should be glad that you made it here. You should be glad that you got accepted into this particular program. You should be glad that you're one of the few women or one of the few African Americans that's in this particular position. And it's like, yes, I am happy, I am glad, but there's also other things, you know, that I'm having to deal with behind the scenes that I really feel like I shouldn't have to deal with, or I'm really struggling in this area, and it makes it really difficult for me to be excited about, me being in this position when I have to deal with this aspect too. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot that we have to put up with and deal with and juggle for the sake of business, for the sake of a job, for whatever issue or for whatever reason. And then let's see. Yes, April also says you have to be your own role model. Yes, and pretty much you're making your own blueprint. You're making your own template. Like, you have nothing to go off of. So you don't know if you're gonna mess up. You don't know if you're gonna get it right. But yes, you have to just advocate for yourself. And that's why I say you have to just tell yourself you are enough. You are more than enough. You are more than capable of handling this. You are more than capable of achieving this. Yeah, you just have to kind of like speak life into yourself and over yourself and just keep encouraging yourself. And that is why I am pretty big on affirmations, because I have to remind myself daily who I am and whose I am and what I can do and what I'm striving for, because you'll get out there in the world and the world will tell you a whole bunch of different lies. And next thing you know, you out there believing those lies. So every morning I'm big on telling myself who I am and what I am, so I can have a constant reminder of that, and nothing can persuade me from knowing that. Or if it does persuade me, it's only going to be temporary, because I'm going to come back to myself and remember who I am. I'm strong, I'm capable, I attract money, all that kind of stuff. I'm a fearless and brave woman of God. You just have to keep repeating that stuff to yourself, that it just becomes second nature, to the point where if someone says otherwise, you don't even pay them attention. You immediately know that it's a lie. It's definitely a lie. So if you don't do any affirmations, I would recommend that you start doing that, so you can just have something that you are constantly telling yourself and reminding yourself about. It reminds me of something in school. I remember somebody had said something to me. I think they might have called me ugly or something. I don't know. They had said something to that effect, and it was like it didn't even phase me. Like, they were trying to insult me, but it was like I was so confident. Like, my parents had instilled in me, I was so confident of who I was. I was like, something must be wrong with you, because I know I ain't that. But and that is pretty much what you have to be now. Like I said, the world will beat you down, and you'll forget some of the stuff that you learned when you were a little child or whatever. So you have to constantly remind yourself about that. But yes. Yes. April, are you in business? I'm gonna get up in your business a little bit. Are you in business? And then she said it makes perfect sense. Sorry, y'all, I got talking. And Danik says I have a daily affirmation app on my phone. Oh, awesome. Danik, do you mind sharing? And I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry. Is it Danny K? Danny K30. Do you mind sharing what the app is? I might have to check it out, because I'm old school, y'all. I have mine written down. If you wouldn't mind sharing, that would be great. And April, are you in business? And if so, what kind of business? Because like I said, I would love to I have no problem with shouting y'all out and supporting you all as well. Yes. Oh, and Danny K, you're in business. Danny K, what kind of business do you have? And if you and Danny K, if you don't mind sharing, if you have the app to share, because I would like to put it on my phone. Like I said, I just have mine written down. Okay, April says, okay, April, we gonna. Uh, I have yes, I have my own little biz marketing. In okay, no, that's fine, April. But I'm gonna have you to change that. You don't have a little business. You have a big business. You have a great business. We're not gonna call our business small at all. We are not gonna call. Thank you, Danny, and she put the app. Hold on, sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. The app I am is the app. Okay, I'm about to download it. But yeah, April, you don't have a little business, especially if you're a child of God, because nothing that God does is small at all. So you don't have anything, you don't have a little business. You have a great, powerful, sustainable business. Oh, Danny, that is awesome. A wedding and event planning business. That sounds like fun. Like I don't know how you had the patience with some with some of the brides like me, but I mean, I wasn't a bridezilla, but still, that is one of like that could be one of the challenging parts because um people's expectations when it comes to their wedding and stuff, it could be, oh my gosh, their expectations can sometimes be unreal. So that you are definitely having to manage a lot of different personalities with the couple's expectations versus the parents' expectations versus the bridesmaids' expectations. I don't know how you do that because everybody be on different pages and you trying to bring everybody together and get something to run off smoothly. Yes, April, you have a great business in marketing. That is right. Nothing is small about what y'all are doing. Yes, well, April, did you I don't know if you saw the marketing video that I did. I forget what day that came out on. Let me know your thoughts about my tips because that is just some of my some of my takeaways and everything. But if you have some other tips, I might have to bring you on so that you can share if you're willing to share. I don't know if you're willing to share about that so that other people can have some marketing tips. And then Danny says, I focus on yes, destination weddings are easier to handle because it's probably less people. And yeah, hopefully you get them on a tropical island. Everybody is just glad that they're all on vacation and forgets about all the other worries. But that is really good. I'm so proud of y'all. That is so awesome. I wish y'all all the best, much success in your business. I pray that your business continues to grow exponentially, that God blows your mind in the most positive ways possible. And 2022 is just your one of your best years yet. So, but yes. And thank you, April. Yeah, check it out. I don't know what day I did it. It might have been, I think it was on Wednesday, the Wednesday video, because I didn't do a video Friday and Thursday was customer service and everything. So, and the video I'm going to do on Monday is pretty much going to be kind of like a recap because there were some things that I realized I left out in each of the videos. So I'm going to just kind of hit everything again and mention all the stuff that I left out from the previous videos and everything. So, but yes. And yeah, you are welcome. Like I said, I want us all to win. I don't want anybody to make any of the mistakes, any of the mistakes that I have made at all. So if sharing this helps someone, if sharing this even encourages someone, that is all I am trying to do. So we are all in this together. But yes, thank y'all so much for joining, especially late on a Saturday night. I'm sure y'all could have been doing many other things, and I'm glad you chose to spend part of your Saturday night with me. So I hope y'all have a wonderful evening, and check me out on tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. if you have any mystery shopping questions, and I'll be happy to answer them or share my information with you. All right. Take care, ladies.